Hi dancers, welcome back to the Whole Dancer YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about eating disorders in ballet. It's one of those things that is kind of a hot topic because I think people do tend to assume that there is a greater level of disordered eating in ballet, and a lot of studies actually have shown that to be true. Part of the problem is that being in front of a mirror every day, exposed in a leotard and tights, doesn't necessarily foster the greatest confidence in oneself. Obviously, the mirror is there for us as a tool, but it can have a negative impact on the way we see ourselves, and it's just kind of hard to be dealing with facing your reflection all the time, all day long, for that many hours each and every day. There is a larger amount of disordered eating ballet. Now, I do think that you have to keep in mind that there's this scale of disordered eating, and not that many dancers that I have worked with anyway have full-fledged anorexia or bulimia. A lot of them are at a sort of undiagnosed stage, a not otherwise specified disordered eating, where maybe there is emotional eating, maybe there's occasional binge eating, maybe there are periods of restriction and then overeating. I see those things a lot with the clients that I work with, and anytime that it's a more serious problem, I would refer them to more serious intervention in disordered eating, because it's a very serious topic and an important one for you all to be aware of. Younger dancers tend to be more susceptible, as, even more so you're being influenced by the messages that you're getting from teachers and peers. You may think that getting to a thinner body in an unhealthy way, or at whatever means necessary, is the best way to approach becoming a professional dancer. So there are a lot of factors as a young dancer that can really impact you. But then as we get older, I think that these messages that we receive as dancers can sort of eat away at us. So, maybe it'll start when you're 13 and someone will say something to you about your body and you hold on to that like crazy. And then a few years later, you hear another message about what's wrong with your body, so you hold on to that one as well. And you're internalizing all of these negative messages, and it just builds up. And then once you're trying to dance professionally, you are not fully immersed or fully engaged in what you're trying to do in the studio, because you're totally distracted by these thoughts about your body and these negative messages that you've received. So how do you move past that? I don't want to just sit here and talk about the struggle and that it exists, because we know that it does. And maybe you personally have experienced some feelings of negativity about food, or major negativity about yourself, or, maybe you have a friend who you think could be struggling. An important thing on that note is to remember that as much as you might look at your friend and think, oh my gosh, she just has the perfect body and there's no way that she worries or struggles with any of this, and she was blessed and I will never look like her and she's got it so easy and all of that. I guarantee to you, because I've seen this with the dancers that I've worked with, even the ones who from the outside we look at them and think, oh my gosh, she's perfect, no stress, nothing to worry about, they could be suffering as well. They could be really dealing with a lot of negativity around how they perceive themselves. And, a lot of times we'll put up this front where we're confident and, oh, I'm thin and it's easy for me and I don't stress about it. But then in the privacy of your own house, you are dealing with a lot of negative self-talk, and you're dealing with a lot of negative body image issues. You're not alone. That's my number one thing to say. As much as I feel that I'm outside of this at this point, because I've grown away from it for so long and I haven't been dancing professionally for a while, there are still moments, I still have my moments when I feel unhappy with how I look, or I think maybe if I were thinner, it would be better. just because that's an old ingrained thought in my mind. I'm much quicker to snap out of it now, and I think that you can be too. Some of the things I want you to think about are focusing on the strength of your body. So instead of focusing on the things that you can't do or the things that are wrong, think about how much strength that you have to dance every day. To perform in a ballet class every day takes a lot, and it takes much more strength than most people have. So already you're on a great track, and you're using your body at a high and awesome level that some people never experience. Non-dancers might never feel that physical intensity and that physical strength and power that ballet dancers can experience, and other dancers as well. So be grateful for that and acknowledge that. Maybe at home, don't have a full-length mirror. I know that might sound a little strange, but I don't own a full-length mirror. And for a while I was like, oh, I need one. I have to be able to see my outfit, or make sure that my shoes match my whatever. But the longer I've gone without one, the better I feel about it. I rarely, I know what matches, so I don't really have to see the full picture. And it just takes away a lot of stress around how I look. And I don't overthink my body most days. I just am like, wow, I'm happy with myself, and I'm exercising, and I'm staying active, and I eat well, and I feel good. Focusing most on the way that you feel is an awesome way to stop stressing about how you look. As a dancer, you're still going to have to see yourself in a full-length mirror most days for class, but that's when you get to put into practice those positive mantras that we talk about, and thinking about what's going well, and, saying to yourself, by supporting myself and seeing the positive, it's going to help me to be more confident and improve. And if you are desiring changes to your body, that positive mindset is going to get you much closer to seeing the shifts in your body without stress. Because if you stress about it, that will help make you hold on to weight, which is another thing that, is going to be the opposite effect of what you might be going for. So you have to find the ways to stay calm with it. And another idea is to not own a scale. Weight fluctuates so much from day to day. When you have your period, your weight's going to be different. Pre-period, your weight's going to be different. If you're bloated, your weight's going to be different. If you're dehydrated, your weight's going to be different. And all of those fluctuations have little or nothing to do with your actual weight. If your muscle and body composition changes, your weight is going to be different. So from day to day, things are going to shift with that number on the scale. Also, scales might not be accurate. You might have a scale that says you're 5 pounds heavier than what you would weigh if you stepped on your friend's scale. If you weigh yourself in the morning, it's going to be different from in the afternoon, from in the evening. So maybe just avoid scales. Then you're going to really be focusing on how you feel. You're going to wake up in the morning, get dressed, say, oh, wow, my clothes fit great. I feel good about myself. I'm working hard in the studio and moving towards my dance goals, and I am improving technically, and things are going well. All of those things can help you to avoid the disordered eating patterns. If you're already stuck in disordered eating patterns and it's borderline but not severe, seek out help before it gets over that line. The sooner you can have some intervention with that and some support in how to cut off the emotional eating and all of that, the better. So you can reach out to me, and if I'm not the right person to help you, I can refer you to someone. But you don't want to let that scenario linger, and you don't want it to get worse. So always feel like you can email me, jess@thewholedancer.com. Head over to thewholedancer.com, and there are all kinds of resources and things that can help with overall healthy eating and, food and mindset around yourself and your body and all of that good stuff. So I'll link below to all those wonderful things. And thanks again for tuning in. If you ever have a topic you'd like me to cover, specific food questions, anything more in depth about this disordered eating business, emotional eating, binge eating, etc., let me know and I'll get into it. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.